Says I use illegal objects. I break the rules. This is all lies. And now he's intent. He's obsessed with
trying to get them separated and get them away from the ring. And
says I use illegal objects. I break the rules. This is all lies. And now he's intent. He's obsessed with the idea of trying to break my leg. I know. I see what you did out there. But I'm after the national title. You happen to have it. American, I'm going to take it away from you, Orndorf. This is right. I got him where I want him. Orndorf, your ribs are hurt now. I don't know about the rest of your body. I know you're a great athlete. Anybody could beat this superstar. It's got to be a great athlete. But like I said, I've got you where I want you. And when a man is upset and angry, like this Orndorf is, he's bound to make a mistake. And only one mistake is all I need. I will capitalize on it. And I will take him apart. And I will take the national title. Now, he's been foolish enough to accept a Russian chain match with Koloff. I have never lost in these matches before. I work out with the chain every day with different techniques of swinging it and hitting on things. And I cannot wait, Paul Orndorf. I imagine these objects that I'm hitting on is you. Yes, I will go after your ribs. I will go after your head. I will go after any part of you and every part of you until you are so weakened down that you will be begging Koloff to stop. And you will have
I cannot imagine the day that I would ever see Paul Orndorf beg, and particularly from Ivan Koloff. We'll be right back. Ivan Koloff and Buzz Sawyer moving out against Johnny Rich and Randy Barber. One fall, 10-minute time limit. That's Johnny Rich moving out first. And obviously Johnny Rich has got a score he'd like to settle.
Well, you know, if you remember Buzz Sawyer, he's done a lot to the Rich family, and Johnny Rich, this is his opportunity to get in there with Buzz and get a little bit get things evened out.
Right now, Sawyer giving him a... Wow, did Rich explode one on his jaw that time? Beautiful flying drop kick. He catches Koloff, and Rich has gone wild. Johnny Rich catching Ivan Koloff and exploding on him. Man, he knocked Sawyer into the next area code. All right, Johnny Rich now with a side headlock on Ivan Koloff. Tough body block by Johnny Rich. Has him. No, sir. Brother, you talk about a fiery competitor. Rich goes to one side just in time. Old body slam by Johnny Rich. Those workouts and all are paying off.
No doubt about it. Johnny's looking better and better, and it just shows he makes Buzz Sawyer stoop in that ring. Buzz doesn't look like he wants too much of Johnny right now. And Johnny's on top of it. Johnny's on his toes tonight. No doubt about it, Gordon.
Well, you know something, too, is interesting. Sawyer scooted out from that ring. Put him in a steel cage. He won't run anywhere. He'll have nowhere to go.
That's right, and nobody can get in either, Gordon. Nobody can climb through, and nobody can get in. And beautiful work by Johnny. He's looking better and better, Gordon.
High backdrop, and Sawyer almost tagged up to the wrong corner. Caught on the button again by Johnny Rich. Brother, Johnny Rich. You talk about putting out 110% effort. He's putting out 150%. He's got that engine churning. All right, Sawyer makes the tag. Ivan Koloff moves in, and Rich explodes on him again. Sawyer very pleased with himself for being able to get over and tag up, and it's Rich catching Koloff in the abdomen. Trying to get over and make that tag. Rich starts to break it up, and Sawyer starts to come in the ring. Being warned by the referee, Scrappy McGowan. Randy Barber makes the tag, has the side headlock on Ivan Koloff. Then Ole Anderson observing, and noticed that Mr. Sawyer scooted out of that ring pretty swiftly earlier.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think everybody's making a mistake here. I'm listening to Bruce Reed talking about the box that he's got for Christmas, and he thinks it's going to be great to have Sawyer upset. I know you and Pritchard here have been talking about it, but he says that what have they got in the box? Another stipulation? Are they trying to make him get out of town? Are they trying to run him out of the place? Well, making Sawyer mad is a big mistake because he's a better wrestler when he's mad. Look at him. Look at Koloff. The two of them are together like a well-oiled machine. Look at that Sawyer. Now, how has being mad affected his ability to wrestle? It's going to backfire on Bruce Reed. It's going to backfire on Tommy Rich. It's going to backfire on Paul Orndorf. Because when we get mad, we just get a lot better.
Interesting comments from Mr. Anderson. Sawyer now punishing Randy Barber. Has him in a backbreaker over Ivan Koloff's knee, and Mr. Koloff has the situation well under control at this point in time, and Barber, those back muscles being stretched in the wrong direction here, and Johnny Rich obviously very concerned here, but again, the tag is made. One has to admit they're a devastating combination.
Well, you know, we've been saying for some time that there isn't anybody any better. In a combination, any combination, or in singles. What a move. Now, Pritchard, you're sitting here. You're the one that was talking about how Reed was trying to upset Sawyer psychologically. It really looks like it's working, doesn't it?
Beautiful power slam by...
He's going to be stuck for words, too. Because you haven't upset Sawyer where it's going to interfere with his ability to wrestle. You've just made him mad. It's like throwing a little water on the bees. They're going to be a little bit hotter, and they're going to come out and sting you just a little bit more.
Mr. Anderson, if I might just comment on that. I don't mean any disrespect or anything, but that's not Butch Reed in the ring. There's a little bit difference. There's quite, not even comparison. Butch Reed, I believe, is about 6'2", 260 pounds of solid muscle, and that's quite the difference right there.
But is there anything stopping Butch Reed from coming in there? Is there anything stopping Tommy Rich from coming in there? They're all sitting in the back somewhere. They must have the monitor on. You know, they can't be in the shower all day long. Sometime they must be watching. And when they are, they must be closing one eye because they got a little bit of straightness or whatever, yellow in them.
Well, I just like to say one other thing. Tommy Rich, Paul Orndorf, whatever, they don't have to run in the ring. They don't have to do, they let their own do their own fighting. That's it.
Look at. They could have beat that kid. They just jumped him out, put him on the outside, and now they're going to go ahead. It's a little war of attrition. Johnny Rich, as good as he might be, as tough as he might be, no one man is going to be able to withstand the onslaught of two. And these guys are doing it legal. Tagging in, tagging out, tagging in. Nothing illegal at all, Gordon.
Well, one has to admit that they have been tagging in and tagging out. A vertical suplex that time. And it is Sawyer drilling a knee into the chest.
And right now, even if Rich or those other people are looking, legitimately, there's nothing they can do about it because everything is above board, Gordon and Mr. Pritchard. All due respect.
Well, they are tagging in and out. There's no question about it. So Johnny Rich, who is choosing to battle on his own, and may I just say this, has tremendous intestinal fortitude, has taken a lot of punishment, is still gamely fighting, and brother, he has taken enough percussions to the chest to wipe out those ribs. He moved out of it again. And you talk about a man made of iron, we've got it in Johnny Rich. And the tag was made, and it's Buzz Sawyer back in there. And Johnny Rich cannot withstand this onslaught forever. And how he powered out of that, I'll never know. Brother, you talk about courage. This man, Johnny Rich, has got all kinds of courage, tremendous fighting heart, but it's got to catch up to him. He cannot continue to take this kind of punishment. Rich hurtled into that far turnbuckle again. Koloff continues to punish him, and it is Buzz Sawyer moving outside the ring, and I've got to give him...
Watch out and goodbye to Mr. Wait a minute!
Paul Orndorf just charged the ring. Paul Orndorf exploding. There's Tommy Rich coming in. Hacksaw Butch Reed is in there. We've got them all inside. We've got them all inside, and they have run.
At the Civic Center, 8 o'clock. But tomorrow afternoon, 2:30, the Iron Sheik's one of those competitors for $25,000.
That's right, Freddy. خدمت همه شنوندگان ایرانی عزیز سلام عرض میکنم و موفقیت همه شما را آرزو میکنم. همه دلار به شما همه کشتی گرفتن نشون میدم.
Two opponents now getting set, McKenzie and Barber, getting set to go up against the Superstar and the Super Destroyer. And there you see them, two men very similar in height and weight and build. Both men outstanding athletes, but they're facing a tough pair here. And very quickly moves in, a single leg pickup. And the thing about the Superstar and the Super Destroyers, they will go to the basics. They rely upon they're heavily on their amateur background. But both of them at about 270, 275 pounds apiece. Probably one of the biggest tag team combinations in the country today.
I think this is what helps them very much in the ring, Gordon. If they do rely on the basics, they do wrestle, they do get in there and resort to some of the amateur moves and amateur background that they both have. And this helps them. They don't just get in there and try and brawl their way in, although they're very capable of doing that. They get in there and they demonstrate wrestling. They know what they're doing in the ring at all times. They like to keep control. And it's very hard to tell them apart a lot of times, too, Gordon. Both of these men, they have about the same stature and almost the same style at times. It's really hard to know who you're wrestling unless you've wrestled them a number of times.
You know, it's interesting, too, that the Superstar has been given credit, and something that I find absolutely amazing, he has been given credit of slamming Andre the Giant, the eighth wonder of the world. And that to me is, when you stop to think about the kind of strength and leverage and capability you would have to do something like that to Andre the Giant, it's phenomenal. There's no question.
Well, when you're going to slam a 7'4" or 500 man, it definitely is. And you've got to give the Superstar credit where credit is due. Man, to slam someone like Andre the Giant, he's got a lot on the ball. He trains hard daily in the gym, and he's a very, very tough competitor. He keeps coming at you, and I don't think he's going to be afraid of Andre the Giant or Stan Hansen or Tito Santana, although I think it'll be some very good competition and very interesting to see how they're going to handle it.
Should be quite a match indeed. And I might just point out, of course, as we're talking along, I'm still wondering how soon Hacksaw Butch Reed's going to let us know what's in that box, because I'm getting a little antsy, and of course we're getting pretty deep here into the program, and I just wonder if Hacksaw is going to make it known to us as he said he would and let us know what's in that box.
Well, I just asked Butch a little while ago, and he says he's not ready yet, and when he is ready, he's going to tell everybody, let everybody all over the world know exactly what he has in store. He said it concerns Buzz Sawyer, and Johnny and Tommy Rich also have something to do with it. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, Gordon.
Yeah, it's his play. He's the dealer right now, and we'll just have to wait to see what does come forth. But it's got my curiosity up, and I know it must have yours up at home as well. So believe me, we're making every effort we can, and just as quickly as we can get a Hacksaw out here to give us the answer on this situation, we certainly will. Barber in a lot of trouble here now as he's caught in a bear hug, and again, you see the massive forearms. He has got himself a handful of problems. Percussion blows into the thoracic region of the back, but very little effect. They didn't have any authority. The tag is made once again, and as you can see, difficult to distinguish between the Superstar and the Super Destroyer. And as Tom, you pointed out earlier, their tactics oftentimes are very similar, so that it's even more of a problem to tell which one is which.
Well, I think also, Gordon, this is why they get along so well. They have the basic same wrestling strategy, and they pretty well know what each other thinks in the ring. You can tell when you're wrestling them as a team that they're working like clockwork. They're working as a team, constantly thinking, constantly on the move, constantly having each other's next thoughts in mind. And this is what with Kabuki, you never know.
Well, that's for sure. And then, of course, the Superstar is the Russian variation, and it's of the clutch itself, pulling him back, and of course that head and neck taking a lot of punishment. The Superstar, of course, uses that cobra so very effectively, which is a hole that comes across that carotid artery, causes unconsciousness, and you see the Superstar moving back into the ring on Barber at this particular time, a forearm across the back. Barber finally makes the tag and is able to tag up McKenzie, trying to battle it out with him now, dropped by by the superstar. By the way, here's a man who also has his master's degree. Highly intelligent competitor. Used, much like Stan Hansen, used the lariat on McKenzie coming off the ropes. Now makes the tag with the Super Destroyer once again. And it looks to me like they might have had McKenzie at that point in time, but now they're just trying to dish out a little more punishment. There's a full power slam back to the canvas again. The count of 3, and so the superstar and the Super Destroyer.
Let me give you a quick preview of what you can expect
For the National Heavyweight Championship. Orndorf.